What if Voldemort and Bellatrix had Delphini during the First Wizarding War? The Serpent's heir appears. In the known history of the wizarding world, Delphini Riddle, the secret daughter of Lord Voldemort and Bellatrix Lestrange, was a product of the aftermath, born in the shadows and hidden from the world. Her existence was a desperate attempt to continue a lineage of evil, a dark secret revealed years after the war. But what if this dark union bore fruit much, much earlier? What if Voldemort and Bellatrix had conceived and had Delphini not after his downfall, but during the brutal heart of the First Wizarding War? This what if isn't just about a hidden heir. It's about how the existence of a child, even one born of pure darkness, could irrevocably alter the very motivations of the Dark Lord, the ferocity of his most loyal follower, and the horrifying trajectory of the war itself. The unholy conception, a child of chaos. The darkest bond, a new dimension of loyalty. Bellatrix Lestrange's devotion to Lord Voldemort was absolute, bordering on fanatical. Her loyalty was her life's purpose. In the chaotic maelstrom of the First Wizarding War, their shared passion for dark magic and their intertwined destinies could lead to a far more immediate and shocking outcome: the conception of a child. For Bellatrix, this would be the ultimate act of worship, a living testament to her unwavering loyalty and the pure blood supremacy she so fiercely believed in. For Voldemort, the initial reaction might be one of cold calculation, perhaps even annoyance at such a human weakness. But the prospect of an heir, a direct continuation of his power and lineage, especially one born of his most loyal and magically potent follower, would be a tempting thought. This child, Delphini, would be born into a world consumed by war, shaped by the darkest of forces. A secret birth, hidden in the midst of war. Such a birth would be shrouded in the deepest secrecy. Voldemort would never risk his heir becoming a target for the Order of the Phoenix. Delphini would likely be born in a hidden stronghold, perhaps under powerful concealment charms. Bellatrix, fiercely protective, would become an even more formidable and terrifying figure on the battlefield, driven by an unspoken maternal instinct for her hidden child. This secret would bind Voldemort and Bellatrix in a new, perhaps even more dangerous. Voldemort would have a tangible legacy, a direct continuation of his bloodline, providing a powerful, if dark, motivation beyond mere conquest, the establishment of a dynasty. Voldemort's war, a shift in strategy, a more measured Dark Lord, securing a legacy. The existence of an heir would introduce an unforeseen variable into Voldemort's calculated ruthlessness. While he would still crave power and dominance, the notion of securing his lineage, of creating a lasting dynasty, would enter his cold mind. This might make him slightly less reckless, less prone to throwing caution to the wind. Every move, every battle, might be weighed against the survival and future of his daughter. Would he still pursue Harry Potter with such singular, self-destructive obsession, knowing his true immortality now rested not just in Horcruxes, but in a living heir? Perhaps he would prioritize creating a safe, subjugated world for Delphini to inherit, rather than simply eradicating all opposition. Bellatrix's frenzy, loyalty unleashed, motherhood twisted. For Bellatrix, Delphini's birth would ignite a terrifying new dimension of fanaticism. A loyalty to the Dark Lord would now be inextricably linked to the future of their child. Every act of torture, every Cruciatus curse, would be fueled by a desperate desire to crush all opposition and secure a pure blood world for her daughter. She would be utterly unhinged, yet paradoxically more driven. Her ferocity on the battlefield would become legendary, making her an even more terrifying adversary for the Order of the Phoenix. She would fight not just for her lord, but for her blood, for her daughter's twisted inheritance. The night at Godric's Hollow, a different target? The prophecy's dilemma. Harry or Delphini? This is where the what-if reaches its terrifying climax. When the prophecy about the one who would vanquish him comes to light, Voldemort would face an agonizing dilemma. He still needs to eliminate the threat, whether Harry or Neville. But with Delphini alive, his personal stake is higher. Would he still risk total self-destruction for a single target? Or would he become more cautious, perhaps sending others to deal with the prophecy child? Even if he goes to Godric's Hollow himself, his rage might be tempered by a flicker of self-preservation, a desire to survive for Delphini's sake. The outcome of that night, the very nature of the rebounding curse, could be different if his mental state was subtly altered by a father's, however twisted, instinct. Perhaps he still falls, but his survival is more assured, or his path back to power is quicker, driven by the need to return to his heir. The aftermath, a darker heir, a reshaped future. Delphini's upbringing, a living legacy of darkness. After Voldemort's fall, whether temporary or prolonged, Delphini's upbringing would be dramatically different. She wouldn't be hidden away in secret. Instead, she would be raised by Bellatrix and other loyal, unimprisoned Death Eaters openly groomed as the Dark Lord's successor. She would be trained in dark magic from infancy, steeped in the ideology of pure blood supremacy, and instilled with a sense of entitlement to power. This Delphini would be far more dangerous, far more prepared, and perhaps even more powerful than her future self. She would embody her parents' combined ruthlessness and ambition, becoming a terrifying prodigy of darkness. The Second War, a precocious heir, a new threat. When Voldemort eventually attempts his return, he might find a powerful, willing accomplice in his already grown daughter. Or, if he is truly gone, Delphini might step into his shoes far earlier, becoming the central antagonist of Harry's generation. Harry Potter's fight would not just be against the resurrected Dark Lord, but against a living legacy of his evil. A highly skilled, powerful, and deeply indoctrinated opponent who carries her parents' darkest traits. The dynamics of the war would be shifted dramatically, with a new, equally terrifying figure emerging from the shadows, perhaps making the defeat of Voldemort only half the battle. What if Voldemort and Bellatrix had Delphini during the First Wizarding War? It's a what-if that explores the profound and unpredictable impact of family, even a twisted one, on the most ruthless of individuals. It forces us to consider how the darkest of desires might be reshaped by the most human of bonds, and how a secret heir could become the most formidable and unexpected challenge to the forces of light. What are your thoughts on this chilling what-if scenario? How else do you think Delphini's early existence would have changed Voldemort, Bellatrix, and the Wizarding Wars? Share your insights and theories in the comments below. And don't forget to tell us which other what-if theory from the world of Harry Potter you'd like me to delve into next. Your ideas truly help shape the magic here on Omniva.